For this project, you're going to need, I like to use these Faber accents, and they're little safety pins, and they have pink and blue ones, and they don't open, but your tapestry needle will fit through, so you can use your yarn to put it onto the blanket. So you're going to need these, and you're also going to need these, any cute little buttons that you prefer. I'm going to use these little horse buttons. I think they're adorable. And then of course you'll need your scissors, and I'm using my crochet hook. It's a G 4mm crochet hook for this project. And you're also going to need some thread. I chose some white thread to sew the buttons on, and just a regular sewing needle. And the colors that I chose, I'm using the Caron Simply Soft white and also just a pink. But if you wanted to do a boy one, you could use blue or any color that you like. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 22. So go ahead and start with your white yarn for the diaper. And I'm going to start with my slip knot, and how I do that is I just cross it over just like that. And then I just put my hook in, and then I hold it with my middle finger and my thumb. Just like this. And then I yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop, and that's my slip knot. So now you're going to chain, single chain 22. So you just yarn over, go through the loop, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So now we're going to do a half double crochet all the way back across for our second row. So to do your first half double crochet, just remember the stitch that you left off with, and you're going to chain 2. 1, 2. So now for your second half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go back into that third stitch from the hook, and you're going to yarn over, and then you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through all 3, and you can see you've done 1 half double crochet in your second half double crochet. So we're going to do a half double crochet all the way back across. I'm going to show you a couple more. Get my camera to come into focus. So yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over, and then you're going to go through all 3 loops on the hook. Now do a couple more with you. Okay, go ahead and finish doing your half double crochets all the way back across, and come back, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should have finished your half double crochets all the way across. And so now you just want to make sure you have equal, for when the diaper ends fold in, that you have an equal band on each side. So you're going to count in 7 single chains, and you're going to join at that stitch. And go ahead and do a single chain at that mark. And then you're going to tie a knot on the back. And you're also going to bury your yarn as you're working. I always like to bury my work as much as possible so I don't have to do it at the end. So now you're going to go ahead and do single chains across. And we're going to do 8 single chains. So go into the next stitch, yarn over, and you can just pull the center loose yarn to make sure that it stays snugly in there. And then you're going to yarn over and then go through for your first single chain. And you're going to do 8 of them across. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and go ahead and cut your loose yarn end in the center that you were burying. Go ahead and get that out of the way. And then finish your 8th single chain on this row. And you can see how you're starting to form the center of your diaper, and then these will fold across like this for the top portion of your diaper. So for the next row, we're going to do half double crochets. So for the first half double crochet, you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then turn your work. And then you're going to do a half double crochet into the next row, yarn over, yarn over. You have 3 on the loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And then you're just going to do half double crochets back across your single chain, so yarn over, yarn over, and just go into the next stitch. And I'm going to the last one here. And then I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then turn. And then you're going to start the next row. So go ahead and finish 7 more rows, so for a total of 8, and then come back, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should have finished your 8 rows. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we're going to go ahead and finish off. Go ahead and yarn over, and then pull through the loop on your hook, and just leave enough for sewing your end in to your work. And now we're going to do our pink border, or blue, whatever, if it's for a girl or a boy. Or if you want to just experiment with different colors, that's fine too. But here you can join, I like to join just on the end that I already have a loose yarn end. And then just take your yarn, loop it in, and then go ahead and do a single chain. And then you're just going to tie a knot. So you can use your loose end that you had already there, and then the new pink end, and just tie that into a knot. And we're going to bury our work as we go. So just get your loose ends and hold them to the side. And then you're going to single chain into the same stitch. And you could pull on the loose ends just to make sure they stay in between your work as you bury it. Then you're going to go into your next stitch. And you're just going to do a single chain. And just keep doing a single chain and burying those yarn ends all the way across. And then you're just going to go around the corner here and then back underneath here to the end, and then come back, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should have finished your single chains around, all around the loop here, and now you're back and going along the side. Now this one's a little bit trickier because you don't have the single chains as easy to get into as before. So now you're just going to work into the side, and wherever you find a free opening, you're just going to go ahead and do a single chain. And you're just going to keep doing your single chain all the way across and just work your way. And as you notice, it's not as easy to see, but as long as you just keep putting your single chain wherever there's a free opening, you'll see it makes a nice border, a nice pink border as you go. So you just keep going. Just keep doing your single chains. And you're going to come to the corner. In the corners, you're going to put a couple extra, we'll do 2 single chains in the corners so it doesn't curl up. And then as you go along the bottom, you'll see it gets a little bit easier because you have your spots there for putting your single chain into. And as you get to your next chain, you'll go ahead and bury that as you work around the corner. And then when you come back to meet the beginning, I'll show you how to slip stitch that together. So go ahead and finish your single chains all the way back to the beginning. Okay, so you should be back to your beginning. And I went ahead and just buried my loose end of yarn that I had there. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. And now in the corner, I'm going to go ahead and just do an extra single chain there. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch to your first single chain that you did. So go ahead and go into that stitch, yarn over, and pull it through that stitch and the loop on your hook. And now we're going to finish off. Go ahead and yarn over and pull it through and just leave enough for sewing into your work. And as you can see, you have the ends for your diaper, and then this will come up like that. And then you're going to fold across and fold this across for your diaper ends. But first we're going to go ahead and bury this loose end here. Just take your tapestry needle and then put the loose end on the needle, and then you're just going to bury it into your work. And then you're just going to cut that loose end. And then go ahead and fold up the diaper middle, and then fold your ends how you would like them to lie on the diaper. And then just take your buttons and go ahead and sew one button here and then one button here with your sewing needle, and then come back, and then I'll show you how the project looks in the next step. I'm just going to show you a little bit of how I'm doing it. I'm just taking the button and centering it where I want it to be, and then I'm taking my sewing needle and I'm going all the way through the crochet project. So go ahead and keep sewing your buttons on and do the same thing on the other side, and then come back. Okay, so this is how your finished diaper should look. And what I do is I usually just get some pink yarn on my tapestry needle. And if you can find one that opens, that's even better. But these will do. They're not that expensive. So I think these work well also. But go ahead and you're just going to take and thread through the yarn. And you're also going to go through the pink portion of your diaper. And you're just going to tie a knot. And just tie it loosely, because that way someone can cut off the safety clip if they want to keep the little diaper to it. But you can see how it looks right there. And you can even tie a bow if you like. And then just take the loose ends of your yarn and cut those. And then go ahead and do the same thing with the other end for your baby blanket, and then come back and I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see here how I just put the baby favor, diaper favor here and just tied it onto my beautiful ribbon that I chose to tie around the blanket itself. You don't want to put it on actually on your blanket, because then it may pull on the beautiful blanket that you made. So this is an example of this diaper one, and then I'm going to show you an example of the baby carriage also. And here's an example of the baby carriage, baby shower favor, that looks pretty on the blanket, and I also tied it a knot to the ribbon so that it doesn't pull on your beautiful blanket. And then I tied a loose knot at the other end of the safety clip. That way it'll come off easily, and then they can keep the baby carriage also. Well, we are all done. I hope you enjoyed this project.